So this is a quick video on an issue that we've seen in class where people have been trying to do a Mathematica command and it hasn't worked as anticipated. I think the issue there is it's always nice to be able to clear the computer's memory. If you think you're doing something right, just have it clear the computer's memory and then try to run the code that wasn't working and try to run it again. So for example, let me show you what I'm talking about. When z is equal to 5, let's make the variable z is equal to 5. Okay, and then you can do something like 2 times z, or you can say the cosine of z. Okay. If you hit return here, we can now see that the computer is using what it knows to be the value of 5, so it's doing 2 times z, but z is equal to 5 to get 10. And since z is equal to 5, the cosine of z is just the cosine of 5. And anywhere if you go to another cell, you can say z squared plus 5. That should be 30 because z is remembered to be 5. Okay, but if at any point, and I always get used to doing this and putting, just getting used to this command, if you type the words clear, square bracket, the quote mark, the shift and the quote mark that's near the enter or the return, and type the word global. We want to clear the global memory. Do the little tick mark, which is next to the 1 on my keyboard. Star is kind of convoluted, and close the quotes. This will now, if I execute this, this will clear the memory of the computer, and the computer will now forget that z was equal to 5. And now this z squared plus 5 will just be printed as z squared plus 5. So what I always get in the habit of doing is when I start a new problem, I just get in the habit of at the top, I just copy Control C. I just get in the habit of the first line of any of my Mathematica documents is this clear command. So if you've been playing around with Mathematica in another window, for example, you had been doing something over in this one, typing math or whatever, and I go to a new window, I just like to clear the computer's memory on this particular worksheet. So that, I think, was one of the issues that I used to, one of the ways that I used to be able to show the contour plot that wasn't showing up in class today. Another thing that you can do is if your code is hanging up or your code doesn't seem to be running, you can always just tell the computer to quit the kernel local under evaluation, and then that will stop the computer from thinking, and then you can go and run the code again, and then it will start thinking. So those are the two options: clear global or evaluation quit kernel local, and that should maybe get your program up and running again. So not sure why the plot wasn't working in class today, but the clear global allowed that code to work, and also the evaluation quit kernel local let it work. So those are my thoughts on just best practices. So for myself, before any problem, if I'm doing, say, problem number one, I would put a clear global at the beginning, and then I would start working z is equal to 5. I would say a is equal to cosine of 20, or just these kind of things, and then a squared, right? And then when I got to a new problem, enter, and I got to a new problem, say problem number 2, I would issue another clear global, and then you can start this problem afresh and reuse. Now you can say let z is equal to 20. Okay, so let's see how that works. So in the first problem, we clear the computer's memory, and it now thinks that z is equal to 5. But on a new problem, maybe you want z to be 20. So you clear the computer's memory, and now it'll think that z is 20. So I just get used to every problem putting a clear global at the beginning of it.